Welcome to another Adam's Corner video. I'm Adam Long, the host of the podcast Adam's Corner, which can be found in all those places where you find podcasts. Apple, Spotify, all those places. You know, I don't have to tell you. Anyway, what I do each month on my podcast is I do a podcast that covers all of the monthly releases from all of the major distributors. And as a supplement, I do these videos to give you a visual idea of what I'm talking about in the podcast. So here's some recent releases from the latter part of March and now into April. And there are a few that haven't been officially released yet, but will be coming soon. So let's get on with it, shall we? Let's hear a couple of Kino Lorber Studio Classics releases that I want to talk about. We have a couple from Peter Sellers, from the great Peter Sellers. Heavens Above has been released on Blu-ray from 1963. This includes an audio commentary by the authors and comedy historians Gemma and Robert Ross. And this is Peter Sellers giving one of his most memorable performances, starring as a reverend, an idealistic prison chaplain who is accidentally assigned to a wealthy parish that frowns upon his progressive ideas. So it's Peter Sellers doing what he did best. And also another Peter Sellers film, the movie that kind of, I guess, made him an international star, I'm All Right, Jack, which is a British comedy, very satirical British comedy that kind of is a satire on labor relations, I guess you would say. Audio commentary here by authors and comedy historians Gemma and Robert Ross again. Interview with the actress Liz Fraser and theatrical trailer. And sorry for the noise outside of the lawnmowers out there, but sometimes it can't be helped. I'll just go ahead and own that. Anyway, we have the 4K Ultra HD release of Foul Play. Yes, Chevy Chase and Goldie Hawn starring in Foul Play, a beloved comedy from Colin Higgins, who also wrote Harold and Maude, and of course went on to write and direct 9 to 5, and he directed The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas. Silver Streak also, he wrote the script for that, which is one of my favorites. I would love to see that on Blu-ray or 4K. Well, it's been out on Blu-ray before, but it's out of print now. But Disney controls that, but that's another story. So Foul Play, getting a 4K scan of the original 35mm camera negative in a nice slipcase here. You get an audio commentary by the entertainment journalists, authors Brian Reisman and Max Every, and Fair Play, remembering Colin Higgins, and the theatrical trailers. We have Things to Do in Denver When You're Dead, starring Andy Garcia. This is also stars Christopher Walken, Christopher Lloyd, William Forsythe, Bill Nunn, Treat Williams, Jack Warden, Steve Buscemi, Fairuza Balk, Gabriel Anwar. What a cast, right? 1995 was the release date. You get an audio commentary here by director Gary Fletter and the screenwriter Scott Rosenberg, audio commentary by Daniel Creamer, and quite a few interviews here as well, and a production featurette and theatrical trailer. This was a Miramax release, and unfortunately it got lumped into as being a Tarantino knockoff in the wake of Pulp Fiction, but I think it's a little bit more than that. It's a black comedy to be sure, but quite an interesting one, and it's getting a 4K scan of the original 35mm camera negative as well. So Things to Do in Denver When You're Dead. We have a DVD. This is usually Blu-rays that I'm talking about, but I wanted to mention this one. Breaking the Silence is a documentary on the great singer-songwriter Janis Ian, who had became a name in the late 60s with Society's Child. It was a protest song, and then was not heard of for another 7 years until she had a huge hit with At 17 in 1975, which made her really an international star. One of the great singer-songwriters. I've seen her live and in concert myself, and can attest she's quite the great songwriter and performer. This is about it's an overview of her life, and it's out on DVD now from Kino Lorber and their partner label Greenwich Entertainment. Bobby Joe and the Outlaw is a Blu-ray release of a film. I think this was previously released by one of their subsidiary labels. I can't remember. Maybe Code Red was one of those. Anyway, this is it's basically Marjoe Gortner and Linda Carter on the run, criminals on the run type thing. That was kind of a popular genre in the mid 70s, early to mid 70s. Audio commentary here by John Harrison. Audio commentary by the director Mark L. Lester, who also directed Commando and Class of 1984, to name two of the films that he directed. Theatrical trailer, interviews with some of the actors and the director. This was notable back in the 70s when it came out, before Wonder Woman, before Linda Carter was on Wonder Woman, but she does appear unclothed in the film, and so a lot of people went back and saw the film when they found out about that. So it kind of had a little bit of a notoriety for that. Of course, Marjoe Gortner was an ex-minister who became a somewhat of a, I guess, a B-movie actor, but a dependable one. He was in a lot of stuff. Yeah, Bobby Joe and the Outlaw getting a part of the Kino cult label, number 28. And then we'll move along to some 88 films releases, quite a few here. We have Jacoman and Tetsu, and this is a limited edition. This is early action masterpiece from Kenji Fukasaku, who also directed Battle Royale and Battles Without Honor and Humanity. This takes place in the year 1947. No extras on this one, but 88 Films has been doing such a good job getting a lot of this Asian cinema out, and they continue the trend there. Lady with a Sword is another in there. I think this is one of the. I'm not sure if this is one of the releases from the Shaw Brothers. Yeah, it's one of the Shaw Brothers, the legendary Hong Kong studios. They've been gradually putting out their films. And this one is directed by Pao Shu Kao, and it's when her sister is attacked and murdered, a swords woman knows just what to do: find the culprits and slice them up. You get a stills gallery here, audio commentary, but yes, Lady with a Sword. This film was released in 1971, one of the early 70s releases from them. Another 88 Films release. This one is Yakuza Wives, and this one is directed by Hideo Gosha, and it's an epic tale of mob rivalry based on a serialized account of the lives of real-life wives of Japanese gangsters. No extras on this one, a limited edition as well, but just wanted to mention Yakuza Wives getting a release from 88 Films. You gotta love the little OBs that they're putting in these things too right here. You can see those are really cool. I really like that. A couple more Shaw Brothers releases from the studio. I just want to talk about Hong Kong. This is from 1983, and it's a social realist drama with a huge heart following two lovers dreaming of a better life. And this includes a stills gallery as well, and a featurette here, an audio commentary, a reversible sleeve. So yeah, Hong Kong from 1983 is another one of the 88 Films releases from the Shaw Brothers Studios. We also have an Amorous Woman of Tang Dynasty, and this is from 1984. Another, again, Shaw Brothers release from their studios. This in one of the last films produced at the Shaw Brothers studio. They say it's one of their finest. I have not seen it. Visually ravishing and erotically charged story of a free-spirited female poet who, frustrated by the conservative times in which she lives, refuses to behave in the ways nice young ladies are supposed to. You also get reversible sleeve. You get commentary and a featurette trailer, stills gallery. So Amorous Woman of Tang Dynasty from 88 Films. And The Adventurers is from Eureka Entertainment, a film by Ringo Lam, who's a well-known director who did many films, including the City on Fire, which was a big inspiration for Quentin Tarantino's debut film Reservoir Dogs. And the Hong Kong superstar Andy Lau stars in this film. It's a story of heroic bloodshed featuring Rosamund Kwan as well, and David Chiang, and Victor Wong from Big Trouble in Little China. And you get a O-card slipcase. You get a new audio commentary, new interview with Gary Bettinson, the editor-in-chief of Asian Cinema Journal, previously unseen archival interview with the writer and producer Sandy Shaw, collector's booklet. So The Adventurers from Eureka Entertainment. And so we will move along to a recent release from Vinegar Syndrome. That would be The Possession of Joel Delaney. And this is this has been a really hard to find film, and it's about a man who is possessed by some sort of entity, starring Perry King and Shirley MacLaine in this film. I was really grateful that they put this out because I've always had a soft spot in my heart for this film, and it's in 4K Ultra HD. You get several featurettes here. Locations, look at the locations of the film, the original trailer. And this is, of course, newly remastered from the original 35mm camera negative. So, The Possession of Joel Delaney, a couple of Warner Archive releases here that we'll talk about as well. And we have Hitman from, this is from... the year is, on this one, 1972. Yeah, and this one stars Bernie Casey and Pam Grier. And Tyrone Hackett's brother wasn't the kind of man to throw his life away. Somebody killed him, plain and simple. And by the time Tyrone crisscrosses L.A. and pieces together the crime, lots of folks are going to pay. This comes from the genre that was referred to as blaxploitation back in those days, and it has it was originally an MGM release. Warner Archive has remastered it from the original negative, and it's directed by George Armitage. This is a pretty, I've seen it, but it's been a long time since I've seen this. It's a pretty dependable film. It includes the original theatrical trailer, but this is one of their releases, Hitman from Warner Archive. And Earth 2 was one of the films that was released after Star Trek ended. This is written by the creator of Star Trek, Gene Roddenberry. It was a pilot for a prospective television series that never came to life, and that never came to light, I should say. And this Blu-ray includes additional footage that was intended for international distribution. So it's a longer version of this sci-fi TV film, Earth 2 from 1971. Yeah, 1971, directed by Tom Grease, whose son has been notable as playing Gary in the recent season of White Lotus. So John Grease. So anyway, The Beast Hand is a film that I wasn't familiar with at all, but it was this is a Real Suspects release from MVD Visual. It's a Japanese horror film and then you get alternate promo clips, slideshow trailers. But it's a Blu-ray release of The Beast Hand. I wasn't familiar with it, but looks interesting to me. And finally, last but not least, two more releases. We have Flight Risk, starring Mark Wahlberg and directed by Mel Gibson. This is a 4K Ultra HD release of this one, and also in Blu-ray. It's the high-stakes suspense thriller. Mark Wahlberg playing a pilot transporting an air marshal accompanying a fugitive to trial. They cross the Alaskan wilderness. Tension soar. Trust is tested. Yada yada yada. As not everyone on board is who they seem. So Flight Risk being issued with a couple of with a featurette and a theatrical trailer from Lionsgate Home Entertainment. And last but not least, finally, Basquiat has been issued by the Criterion as part of the Criterion collection. This is a film that's been really hard to find. Directed by Julian Schnabel. It's a tribute to his friend and fellow painter Jean-Michel Basquiat. And it's less of a conventional biopic than an impressionistic sensory immersion into the much mythologized downtown Manhattan art world of the 1980s. Jeffrey Wright stars as as Basquiat. David Bowie also in this. This is getting its first ever 4K Ultra HD release. I don't even think it ever had a Blu-ray release, but you get a 2024 black and white version of the film, supervised and approved by the director. You get several other featured audio commentary from the director and the writer and curator Julia D. Agnolo Valan, a new 4K restoration of the theatrical version, and a new interview with Jeffrey Wright, an interview from 1996 with Schnabel and David Bowie, and a trailer and a booklet here, an essay booklet by film scholar Roger Durling. So yes, it's nice to have Basquiat finally, from 1996, finally getting a 4K Ultra HD release after being out of print for so many years. So that about covers all of the recent Blu-ray releases that I've received. Again, would like to thank all of you who watch these videos, and send me some comments, subscribe, like, any of that's appreciated. And until next time, keep those discs spinning.